Hey, Amy Posner here, and this week I am going to review Lori Zotman's emails. And I go through pretty much line by line, and I think it's really interesting, and you may have heard me say this before, but I so often see the copy that we need, but I see it out of order. So the messaging hierarchy isn't necessarily correct, or there's that thing that we do, which it's kind of like clearing your throat leading up to speaking, and you kind of, you say the thing and you got started and blah, 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 and then you get to the point. And so very often I see the point, but I don't see it in the beginning. And you'll see a good example of that here. And it's funny how sometimes the headlines and the subject lines are buried. Let's take a look at a copy teardown of Lori's very good emails. Hey, Lori, thanks for submitting your copy. I haven't seen your writing before, and I really like it. So, and thanks for telling me about the audience too. Really helpful to know who your one reader is. So, I wondered if you should use the quotes as your subject lines. Kickstart your literature review. I think it's compelling because they have the pain of not being able to start it. But, like if you said sound familiar, not in italic, and I'm stuck on my lit review and worried I'll never get it right. Or you can, if you want to make it shorter, I'm stuck, afraid I'll never get my lit review right. I think that might get more open, so it kind of be interesting to test. And then if you're like many students, I would just say if your literature review is giving you heartburn, like make it more direct, less passive, more active. If your literature review is giving you heartburn, you might be these are all great pain points. I am not a fan of using periods in bullets. I leave the periods off. I know it's not correct grammatically, but it's the idea that, a period says stop. It literally is a full stop. And we don't want them to stop. We want them to go. So I like to bend the grammar rules there. Yep, really good. You've hit their pain points. This is funny. Yes, if you'd rather sit with a full bladder in traffic, you're not alone. I've worked with dozens and a huge number have found that it's the hardest part. I want to bold this. I would bold that because, the eye will be drawn to it. And if they see this, again, they'll identify and they'll be like, oh, okay. They'll like lean in. Oh, what more? Tell me, here's what they told me. These are really good. Again, I'd lose the periods, up to you. And then this is good. I mean, now we start to get into like, why can she help? But the one thing that feels missing here for me is, so why did she go to all this trouble? Like, why did she do it? Like, did she want to help students write in a review and then she went into a whole big process? I mean, I like this. I like what you're saying, but it feels a little bit, I guess here's the thing. Whenever I see an information product, I always want to know, did somebody have some passion for something or did they see a gap in the marketplace? Either one is fine, but I, as the reader buyer, don't want to feel like, oh, she saw a gap in the marketplace, so she cobbled something together. I feel like there's a real reason, she had to do it, and now she's gained all this insight and knowledge. It feels more real and genuine to me. I'd be curious what you think about that and what the actual real story is. Once I understood the steps in the process, I built tools and strategies to guide students through them. I tested my methods in workshop and use student feedback. So I would love to see a proof point right here. If she's done that and she's had feedback, let's hear what somebody had to say about what she has done for them. Now she's got a great system. Do you want to use that system to get your lit review up and running? Free 5-day challenge. I mentioned maybe it should come earlier. No, I think it's fine where it is. I'm going to cut my comment, and this is the good thing about reading it over twice. Because sometimes these things strike me and I write them down. When I come back through, it's like, I don't know about that. Starting September 11th, 2017, we'll complete daily tasks to build a rock foundation for your lit review writing. Here's a sneak peek on what you'll accomplish. Good. Again, I get rid of the periods. I love this line. It feels like a headline to me, and I just wondered if this should be up further. Here's what they told me. And I don't know. I might be tempted, to put in something in here like good news or, upcoming or some kind of little hint that, in 5 days, maybe when you hit their pain points, right here. Well, guess what? In 5 days, you're going to go from dreading your lit review to being revved up to write it. Then now we're teasing this thing that I had a little bit of trouble with it not being higher up. And that handles that little challenge as well. So I like that idea a lot. Overall, I think it's really good. I wish we can incentivize people to share the challenge, but I guess, asking is a damn good start. Have you signed up for the free lit review challenge yet? I think people tend to react negatively to something that feels like guilt or like, like, wait, I didn't do that, or you didn't do that, or why haven't you done that? Where if I don't get my lit review right, I won't graduate. That's potent. I mean, if someone's in this situation, they're going to open an email with that in the subject line. I think it's a more potent use of this phrase here. This is really good. Yes, it's hard, but you don't have to face it alone. Might like to, go back to putting this line in. Where's our line about? In 5 days you'll go from dreading your lit review to being revved up to write it. I might put that again right here, and join the challenge. I think I would, because I think it's just a really rock solid point. You'll come away powered up with sources, structure, and strategy to write a killer literature review. And I might even say something like, wouldn't that be a relief? Give them the close the loop of the experience, like, remind them how good that'll feel, because that's they sort of don't have a choice. And we of course want them to avoid the pain, but we want to future pace them. What's that going to look like and feel like? Don't miss this chance for free lit review guidance. I like the quotes that you came up with, and I don't know if it's voice of customer or what, but they're much more compelling to me. Don't miss this chance. It's like, it's easy to say like, oh, I'm busy, or do I really want to do that? But overwhelmed with your literature review, avoiding it because you don't know where to start, because that taps into that thing that is nagging in the back of their head, like, oh, like I better get to this. Like, I've done all this work. If I'm going to graduate here, I better do this damn thing. So I think tapping into that would be really powerful. And since you already have it, yeah, and here, right, it's like the perfect segue into tired of dragging it around like a ball and chain, because that's exactly how they feel, right? This thing, it's one of those things that's taking them they've spent way more energy thinking about it and dreading it that's actually going to take them to do the damn thing. So they're going to really resonate with that. Are you ready to get on top of your literature review? And I would repeat this really potent line you have. In 5 days, you're going to go from dreading your lit review to being revved up to write it. I mean, that's a really great future pace and a really great outcome. So I would use that again. Plus repetition is really good. It's good for marketing and for people to make a decision. So overall, really good. And I'm curious, because it was dated 2017. Is this something still being used or not? Like, would you be updating it to use again? Just curious. Doesn't matter one way or the other, but I am curious. Hope this helps. So let me know. So I hope that was helpful to see the line by line breakdown and just see how looking at each of these things really closely in a final pass can really, really help improve the copy. And sometimes it's ideal to get somebody else's eyes on it, especially if you don't have a long period between when you write the copy and when you deliver the copy. You don't get that time away from it to get fresh perspective and fresh eyes, which you can sort of get on your own copy if you have time to step away from it. But I don't think there's anything that can't be improved by having someone else look at it, make suggestions, or even better yet, discussing it and discussing, why you made the choices, and defending those choices will sometimes help you to improve the copy as you're writing it. Thanks for watching. If you want to be notified when new episodes drop, then click the bell and you'll get notified. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.